the question I'm looking at today is how can you go from an employee to a successful business owner? Now, one of the scariest things I've ever done was to go from being employed to actually owning my own business. So, the question that the Making the Leap show focuses on is there a way to actually become a business owner with confidence and with a higher chance of success? Hi, I'm Marianne from One Life to Flourish, and welcome to a series for those who are dreaming of being business owners, Making the Leap show. So, before we begin, we do have a little bit of housekeeping. Uh, if you know someone who is actually really dreaming of being a business owner, why don't you invite them to join our broadcast today? And the easiest way to do this is to actually hit the arrow button down below and just get them to come across. Now, we're also going live on other pages. So if you're wanting to get us to see your comments, please click the link up above and then come over and join us here on My Time TV. So, is there a way to be a confident business owner who has set their business up for success? So, back in 2004, when I had to walk away from my first business with my tail between my legs, I would have had serious doubts that it was actually possible. Having your business fail is one of the most demoralizing feelings ever. And for a while, I retreated and licked my wounds, even though I never really lost that desire to actually be a business owner and be an entrepreneur. What I've discovered since that failure has then been the starting point for me making the change so I can get back into business again. And the biggest thing was actually changing my beliefs. Now, it's really what happens in your mind and changing that can actually make the big changes. So today, hopefully, I'm going to be talking with Adair Palmer, who is from Social Media with Adair and Women in Business Amplified, to find out a little bit more about the lessons that she's learnt in building her business. So we'll see if we can get Adair up on the screen. Let's see. Okay, no, looks like I'm not having any success with that. So not sure what my technical difficulties are. So apologies for that. Yeah, not sure. All right. So, hi Adair. Hello. Okay. Oh, okay. Oops. Okay. All right. So it looks like our technical difficulties means that we're going to be having a conversation by phone. We'll see how we go with that. So
I've done that before, Marianne, and as you go with the live broadcasting, it is something that you've just got to, be prepared for any occasion.
Yes, this is what I'm learning. You never know what's going to happen with live broadcasting. So anyway, welcome to the show. And
thank you so much.
We'll see what we can find out over the phone. So first of all, just for the people who are now listening, could you tell us a little bit about your background, so what you did before you actually started your business and why it was that you decided to go from being an employee to actually owning your own business?
Okay, so now I don't know whether you can actually, am I on loudspeaker at the other end?
So I've put you on loudspeaker.
Okay, cool.
I'm not
Okay,
sure
good,
if
good.
there's something I'm missing. It's entirely possible. You know, my technical difficulties at times. So hopefully people can hear you.
That's totally fine. What I've done is I've just muted the broadcast on the computer so that so we don't get the feedback. So
Okay.
that's just double checking. So just a bit about my background in a nutshell. I came from my undergraduate degree was community development, and I did a Masters of Education as well. So I did quite a bit of institutionalized learning, and I started in community services and then moved into corporate government, and that I really enjoyed doing that. My heart's in community, and I just loved working with community. And in the government, I was working with emergency services in South Australia as a management consultant, and then moved into emergency management. And so the other part of that question, was that how I made the leap, or was that a bit of background?
Sorry, a few questions in there. So why was it that you actually wanted to go from being an employee to having your own business?
Yeah, now that's an interesting one as well. I'm sure that I'm not the only person that's, I was going to say suffered is the word that comes to mind. But from an amazing start with an amazing boss or manager in government, it went south. The last 5 years were pretty horrible. We had a government at the time where I was being directed of, my daily duties were being directed by the minister, the relevant minister, and it became untenable. And then they had what do they call it? The redundancies, the targeted TVSPs, for those who haven't had anything to do with government, is targeted voluntary separation packages. And there were people that were climbing over each other to either shore up their position or get a package. And I got lost in the crush. I got crushed in the crush. There were good people doing some really interestingly, terribly bad things, interesting things that you would never expect. That behaviour of those people and the impact on me was just was devastating. So I just ended up walking out one day, and I was thinking it'd be nice to have a package, but I think I would not be here now if I didn't just walk out, after well over a decade, sort of, So it was a really toxic work environment. I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
And I think there's probably people out there who can relate to the toxic work environment as well, just from people that I know, the people I've talked to as well.
Yeah, and I think it's been like I said, there's more me's out there, and even if they're not in a toxic work environment, people are quite often in an environment where they know there's something more, or even if they're in the fire to just it's sort of do the thing that makes their heart sing, and they might be. For me, I was going, I'm in a secure job. I was on a very, very good income, a salary as a woman in government, for the time it was. But I was hanging on to security, the financial security, at the expense of my mental, emotional, and spiritual health.
Yeah.
So there's many more people out there, I know.
Yeah. So when you went from your being an employee and you just kind of walked out, what business did you get into, and how did that all come about? And is it still the business that you're doing now?
Actually, no. That's a really good question, because I walked out and I went, I would never. Actually, there was a little hiatus there. I took my long service leave and all my holiday pay and all my sick leave, and curled up under the bed for about 12 months licking my wounds, trying to recover. And then I did some consultancy work with some not-for-profits because I was drawn back to community. And then I thought, well, there's got to be, so there's no money in community, and I'm not doing it for the money, but you do have to survive. So, and I really thought, while I love doing it and working with the community, I didn't think I could particularly. I wanted to really be, my own boss and make my own way. And I actually started with network marketing because it presented to me an opportunity because I had no confidence in my skills. So I actually was that shattered that I had no confidence in my skills to be able to create something that wasn't my own. And so I started with a network marketing company, and that sort of went reasonably well. But because of my background and skills in networking and building community, I actually got onto. Have you heard of Meetup?
Yes, I have. Yes.
A platform called Meetup, and I started a Meetup called. It was focused on anti-aging, and it was called Adelaide Anti-Aging and Youthful Living, and I was going to get everybody together and throw my products at them and tell them they had to buy them or get old ungracefully. And so it was a big learning curve for me as well. And what I ended up doing was actually realising fairly early in the piece that if I did that, nobody would come back. And there was within a short amount of time, there was about 1,000 people in that community, and they would come. I would hold lunches once a month and have guest speakers all around the topic of anti-aging because it was obviously something that was of interest to me as well. And, they have the products surreptitiously popped in the background and giving away some samples as door prizes and things like that. So, but as a result of that, so it's an evolutionary thing because, I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. But it's about saying, well, being open to the opportunities that come your way when you do make the leap. And I had an amazing guy, a shout out to Shane and Jess Bozzard from the Australian Success Academy, sent me a message, an email, and he said, if you would like to promote my hypnotherapy course to your people in your community, I'd be happy to give you a free a seat on there. And I'm going, wow, and it was actually at that point that I went, actually having a community of people was valuable. So I said, I'm a lifelong learner. I love learning, and with several degrees, I was a testimony to that. But this was a whole new ball game, and I just thought, well, I could go and do this training, and so in exchange for sending out a few emails, that sounded like a pretty good deal. And, and I went, I was about probably about an hour and a half into it, and because I didn't even know what hypnotherapy was. It was just an opportunity that I was nudged to take, and I went, holy shit, this stuff's great. I love it. And at the end of the training, I went home to my then husband and I went, I'm becoming a hypnotherapist. And he sort of went, what? I said, yeah. And then I'm going to open a clinic. And he went, what? And I said, yeah, in the front room. And he went, you've lost your marbles. So I went, that was my path. I just started and then went on to do the NLP, which is a neuro-linguistic programming practitioner, a master practitioner training, and just went from strength to strength with that. But that was interesting that the whole world was opened up. Working in emergency services, it's black or white or bullshit. And I actually found that moving into the more I'd always had an interest in psychology, but moving into the more the mental and emotional and spiritual health side of things rather than putting the wet stuff on the hot stuff, it just opened up a whole new world, a new community and new people and new ways of thinking and seeing and being, and it just blew my mind, and I loved it. Loved the people, loved the energy. And then I just started doing Facebook, because I had an interest in that when I was as a management consultant, would work with local brigades and units and teach them how to recruit people into their brigades and their units. And I applied the same principles. I just saw social media as a great way to recruit customers or clients, and did the same sort of thing as my community development background. And now that's sort of, then other hypnotherapists would ask me how I did it, so I'd show them, and how it's morphed into big people help people. So I feel like the impact I have is like bigger than if I just do so the one-on-one hypnotherapy that I was doing. So if I help find clients for a range of other hypnotherapists, for example, because I work with more than hypnotherapists, but that's sort of been my jam now for probably the last 3 years. Really cool.
Yes. So that's obviously the area that you've ended up working in after a little bit of a journey. So how can people actually find you and work with you in your business now?
Okay, well, I did have a tab open on my screen to get a chatbot link where I could offer a health check tool, because that's one of the foundation things that I do with clients or even people who are interested, just to help, just to do a health check on their business page. And that's sort of like a starting point, so that you can, so I love to help people. And what I'll do is I'll just drop that link. It's attached to a chat bot, and if you want to, if you're watching this or listening to this and you decide that you'd like to have a health check on your business page, that's entirely it's entirely free. It's a complimentary from me, and we do that. It's maybe 20 minutes to half an hour, and I can tell you in a snapshot just a few things that you can do to improve your page. And then, you know, if you think that there's some ways that we could work together, or if I think there's ways we can work together, I just usually take the conversation a bit further. But that's a starting point. So at the link at the moment, because we had these little fun issues getting running today, I'll drop the link in the comments when we're finished. And I can see that Roz is here. She says she's listening in the background. So
okay, yes, I can't see anybody here at the moment. That might be our technical difficulties as well. So, but yes, I mean,
so
basically that's how I got to know you, was actually by taking up your offer of having that health check, and you gave me 3 tips in that short session that started to change how my Facebook operated. So definitely recommend that for anyone who wants to really improve how their business page works on Facebook. It's a great starting point.
Well, thank you, and look at you now doing the live broadcasting and not freaking out when it all doesn't go to plan. I just want to say that Shirley's here as well, so hi to Shirley and Edward as well.
Yeah, hi.
Edward Palmer. We share the same name, but I don't think we've met. So, so just to say hi. But yes, I'll definitely drop the link and in the comments after we're finished. So yeah.
Okay, so as I said in the introduction, the big thing that I believe makes a difference when you're starting a business is how you change your beliefs. So what kinds of beliefs did you have to really struggle with as a new business owner or as someone thinking about starting a business, and what kind of impact did that actually have on you and your business?
Well, there were 3 major ones, and the first one was that I didn't think that anyone wanted to hear what I had to say. And so that was the first one. The second one was my beliefs around money, and the third one was my belief about my capability.
Mm-hmm.
So not having the confidence. So that was. I mean, I look back at what I did in emergency services. I did some freaking phenomenal things, and because of whatever experiences I had, when I crawled out of there, I had no confidence, I had no self-worth, so I had to build that up again. And that was part of the process of changing those beliefs. I had to have people that were, supportive and loving and challenging me, and things like the NLP, like seriously, that exploded. So it really exploded those limiting beliefs. The beliefs around money, like again, that's, we go back to our father. My father, our parents, their parents, Stephen Aitchison was saying to, who was he talking to the other day? Talking to Sue Giacobi, and he was saying, some of our beliefs are hundreds of years old, and it's not our fault. It's just around recognising that. And then the beliefs around capability is about saying, well, if I have success, am I going to be able to cope with it? So fear of failure wasn't an issue, it was actually fear of success.
Yeah, exactly. And it's incredible how that is kind of like an upper limiting belief where you feel like you can't go any higher than a certain level. Yeah. And I think they're sort of beliefs that lots of people that I've talked to, and I've certainly struggled with them myself as well. They seem to be fairly common things that we have to deal with moving from an employee to being a business owner.
Absolutely, and I'm really grateful that we have people like you there that can help when we, even if we don't have that confidence, that people, with your skills and, to be able to help us to uncover those beliefs or be aware of them in the first place, and then do using NLP, doing those techniques that actually help us move through those phases to actually replace those beliefs with healthy beliefs and beliefs that are going to serve us well, because it's actually one of the things, and you know this, and I know this, but when we have those beliefs and they define who we are, we hold on to them so hard. It's like, you're not going to prize that belief out of my cold, hard hands and cold hands because that makes me who I am.
Yeah, well, that's true. We do cling on to them as hard as we can, particularly some of them. And I mean, sometimes we're not even aware of where that reaction's coming from as well. It's so far in the past, as you're saying, that it's not just the immediate things that we're aware of that have an impact on how we're feeling and how we're acting. That's right.
It really is. When you're aware of it, then you can make the changes, but until then, you just can't.
Yeah. So, what advice would you give people if they were actually thinking about starting their own business? What would you say would be the best, say, 3 top tips that you would give them?
If you're having doubts, about your capability, go and see. Be aware that that's, everyone has the capacity and the capability to do, and they have a right to live the life that they really, if you look inside, what is it that's making you, driving you to do something, or if you're feeling like that there's something missing and you're not living the life that you're meant to, go, just reach out and get some help. And I would, like I said before, people who do what you're doing, NLP practitioners, hypnotherapists, really, really help. And I can say it from my own experience. So that's number one, is to move some of that baggage first.
Yeah.
And number 2 is, because once you've done that, then you can move on to number 2, is to, maybe work out ways where that you can have your cake and eat it too. So for me, if I had that help back when I was at my worst in emergency services, I might have chosen to stay there and work with what I had, because I took such a huge hit in the financial. It changed my life completely. And it's taken a long time to work back to anywhere near there. So it's something that most people have to have a practical approach to. But for me, it was life or death. But I think for most people, and I feel like I'm being dramatic here, but it actually at the time it felt like it. But I think some sort of planned approach and working out, and it's much like you're doing, Marianne, is saying that working from one career to another and planning it. Because I just pulled the pin.
Yes. Oh, that's what I did with my first business. So lessons learned.
Yeah. And the third one is a really powerful one for me. Is if you feel like you don't deserve it, go and find I've done some amazing stuff with amazing people, and there's people always there offering help. If you find, and I remember someone said the sum total of the 5 people that you hang around most, and I'm going, oh, well, I'm screwed. I just hang around people and party all the time, bitch and whinge about life. I'm going, well, I want to change that. And then they go, well, hang around millionaires. So where am I going to find a millionaire?
Yes, where are those millionaires?
And so I guess the biggest thing is like to be the change that you want to see, and they come to you. It's funny because I do remember that moment where, and it was Bob Proctor I was listening to, and he was just saying, that, and I just going, I have no idea how to get from where I am to where I want to go. And it was so frustrating. And he said, it's just like a rose. You think of a rosebud opening, and you can sit and stare at it for hours or days, and you'll never see it move. And then one morning it will just be a beautiful rose instead of a rosebud. And that's how it happens. Some people it might be an instant or overnight shift, but for most of us it's so gradual and so slow that you don't even realise. So be patient and keep moving forward, I suppose, is the next, and accepting help from those who come into your life, because you will experience different people. You'll experience different offers for help. You will experience a huge amount of barriers, because I think it's the universe saying, "How bad do you want this?"
Yeah, that certainly seems to happen, doesn't it? Where things will just come up that you need to actually work through, or choose to go back into your little safe haven again. So it really is about setting that intention and moving forward, I think. So yes, some great advice. I would agree entirely with each of those things, because it's things that I've learned along the way as well. And certainly the last one, where being open to people helping you and looking for people who are coming along to help you and how they can do that, is an amazing thing as well. So with my first business, I did the opposite. I was basically like a little island trying to do it all, and the failure was predictable from the beginning. I just couldn't see that. So when you do things in a different way, when you try and have the support, surround yourself with the right kind of people, that's, I think, where you have the greatest chance of success as well.
You do, and I think that's you may have needed to have that failure to be here doing what you're doing. So,
well, I'm pretty sure that's the case. I don't think any of the things that happen in our lives are without lessons for us to learn, are they?
Well, that's right, because if we don't learn them, they come back.
Yeah, they come back to haunt us again.
They
do. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for your story and the ideas that you've given us today. It's been really great to hear from you. And I would highly recommend anyone who's wanting help with social media to actually get in contact with Adair. She has been my saviour in that sense. So someone who knows very little.
Oh, you know a whole heap more now.
I definitely do, but that's thanks to you. So there's always something to learn.
There's just a couple of comments here. I know you can't see them from where you
No,
are,
I
but I'm
can't.
also looking. You know, Ros is saying Facebook has rolled out their new look this morning as I got on my computer. And I say, Ros, yes, I saw it and I am underwhelmed, but we've got to work with it. Shirley is saying it's wonderful advice. So thank you.
Thanks
for joining us, everyone.
Yeah.
Taking over.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's fine. It's because I can't see who's joined us, which is the really sad thing about what's happening with my little technical problems. So hopefully we can work them out before next week. So
we will.
Yes, I'm sure we will. We'll do a debrief.
That's right. We had no teams this morning. That was always a good sign.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So probably the other thing I would say is that if you are someone who's really wanting to become a successful business owner, I am running a webinar with 3 of my top strategies of how to do that. And the webinar is on Saturday, the 4th of July. And there are links, I'm pretty sure, that I've put so that you can actually link through to Eventbrite. It is a free event, but hopefully it will have some really useful information for those people who are interested in doing that, because there is an amazing freedom in actually stepping out, challenging yourself, and actually building your business. So thank you for joining Adair and I today, even despite our problems, and hopefully you found it really informative and helpful. Remember that, we always have something to learn. So hopefully you've learned something useful today. And hopefully it's inspired you to take the next step that you need to take towards achieving your dream. So please join me next Saturday morning when I'll be speaking to another amazing and inspiring business owner to find out what their top tips are. Good morning, everyone.